California tonight is home to a record-shattering heat wave and about 24 wildfires currently burning across the state. Nearly 15,000 firefighters are battling steep terrain and tinder-dry conditions as they fight to control the raging infernos. This afternoon, the U.S. Forest Service announced it will temporarily close national forests in the southern and central regions of the state because of the fire risk. More than 2 million acres already scorched this year in California. Record-breaking swaths of land burning under record-breaking temperatures. Governor Gavin Newsom last night declared a state of emergency in 5 counties as some 20 fire conglomerates smolder across the state. The largest fire alone, Fresno's Creek Fire, has burned over 73,000 acres. A caravan of Labor Day weekend campers were surrounded by flames and forced to flee to a nearby lake. Sisters Caitlin and Mackenzie Meek escaped the fire's path.
One minute you're just sitting at camp, and then the next you're driving through flames, trying to save everything.
Backpacker Juliana Park documented her drive out of Sierra National Forest, the road lined with flames.
Getting rescued right now.
Rescue teams deployed to Fresno have already airlifted out more than 200 trapped campers.
The crews were absolutely ecstatic when they came off the helicopters.
Colonel David Hall of the California Army National Guard.
All of the individuals that they rescued were greeting the crew members with hugs as they were boarding onto the helicopter, and then again after getting off the helicopter, a lot of high fives.
Several fires still burn completely uncontained, and state excessive heat warnings are in effect until tonight. Officials warn the worst may be yet to come. Temperatures in Los Angeles County reached a record high of 121 degrees yesterday. While it's cooler there today, temperatures inland are expected to top 100 degrees. For a closer look at what's behind that heat wave and what's fueling these fires, I'm joined by Leah Stokes. She's a professor and researcher on climate, energy, and political policy at the University of California, Santa Barbara. She joins us this holiday from Ontario, Canada. Leah Stokes, welcome to the NewsHour. Let's start with that warning. Why is it that authorities believe that this fire season could get even worse soon?
Well, unfortunately, climate change is happening right now in California, and we've been lengthening the fire season quite considerably as we warm up the planet. In California, our fire season is now 2.5 months longer than it used to be, which means that people are at risk all the time. And as you mentioned, we're seeing record heat waves, not just in Los Angeles County, but also in Santa Barbara County, San Luis Obispo County, and all of that heat is really increasing risk for fires.
Now, you mentioned climate change, of course. How do we know that that connection is there? Because we should mention some of the activities that spark the fires are, in fact, just related to human behavior. There was one fire started by a gender reveal party in which someone used a smoke machine that sparked a fire. So explain that connection to us.
Yes, it is true, of course, that we make decisions in our daily lives, such as the people who decided to have that gender reveal party. But, it becomes so much more risky to actually have that spark light a fire under climate change. So we know because of research from scientists that we have 500% more risk for wildfires during this climate changed world than we would have before. And that's because it's really hot and dry, because we have had droughts. And of course, that drought, which is caused by climate change, has led to a lot of vegetation dying, meaning there's a lot of brush lying around that can easily light up. And a little spark from a gender reveal party or whatever it is can end up being a massive inferno very quickly. So of course, people need to be careful and be held accountable when they light fires. But the fact is, climate change is the real culprit behind what we're seeing right now.
We should mention, too, California's fire record goes back to 1932, but the 10 biggest fires on record there have all happened after 2000. Should we expect that trend to continue?
Unfortunately, we should. I've only lived in California for 5 years, and I've already been evacuated from my home for weeks on end. And what scientists are telling us is that we are entering a period of mega fires where the scale of burning is just beyond what we've seen before. So as you mentioned, we're seeing really large fires, and there isn't any reason to believe that that will stop because we are not taking the climate crisis seriously, and we are not reducing fossil fuel emissions around the world. So California really is a canary in the coal mine here, and we need to be waking up and just as the bird was dying from coal, we too are dying from burning coal, oil, and fossil gas.
We should mention also we are mid-fire season now. Are there steps that residents or local authorities, state authorities can be taking to mitigate damage for the rest of the season and prepare for next year?
Absolutely. You know, our firefighters and our cities are doing the best that they can. They do all kinds of things like suggest that residents make small retrofits to their home that can dramatically reduce fire risk. They do things like create fuel breaks, which sometimes are controversial for good reason. So people are trying, but you know, the really big solution here is taking on the climate crisis. And that means that we need new leadership, particularly in Washington. We need somebody who actually believes that climate change is real. And unfortunately, we don't have that right now.
That is Leah Stokes from the University of California, Santa Barbara, joining us tonight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me on.